This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. We live. First of all, let me tell everybody we are live tonight. This is not pre-recorded. So please come on and say hi, Heidi Ho, and all that good stuff. I had a small break from school, so I'm so excited that B and Tip, I'm about to call you Mike because your name's up there is Mike Tipton, were able to join me tonight. Guys, what's up? How y'all doing? How you been?
I'm always good.
Always good. Estrella, how are you?
Yeah, I'm well. I'm doing very well.
Well, it's good. All right, let's do some shout outs real quick, pay some bills, as they say. Shout out to Pink Fan Fur, the realest real creator out there. Thank you so much, Pink, for the promos, the loves, and shares, and all that good stuff. And good evening to all of you that have come on and supported the show. So many, like we're going into like year 3 of this show. I'm super excited. What's up, TC 915?
My man Tommy.
Yes. But he's on here, guys. Now you got to be nice to Tip. He's on here as a special favor to me, last minute, just like Bistrella is. But Tip has a special place because you guys know the Carolina-Dallas game is this weekend. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Let's talk about a little recap here from last week. B, tell us about the Lions roaring on in this last matchup they had. What were your thoughts on the game?
So they, Cincinnati is pretty much done. They have no offense or defensive line. It was just, everybody's been killing Cincinnati. They're just not a good team. So I didn't expect anything less from the Lions going in there, beating them like they did. And it worked out well for everybody because, hey, at the end, they got some points to make it look closer than it was. And Chase got me some fantasy points. So I was happy all the way around.
But they now have Joe Flacco.
Yeah. And he'll be just another quarterback that's behind that awful offensive line. It's going to get, and it's worse for him because he's not mobile like Browning is. Browning can run at least. You got Flacco on AARP.
That's what I was going to bring up too. Like, if you have a bad offensive line, why are you going out there and getting a 40-year-old statue? Like it doesn't make sense to me.
Tommy started.
I know
already.
That's exactly true. But Tip, you do have a point there. This is what everybody talked about in the offseason, how they were spending all this money on their offense. And you were like, everybody was like, okay, this is not a well-rounded team going into. So now you got an injury, and the man that you gave all this money to, your savior, so to speak, for the team is out. And there's nobody left to carry on. I don't know. Is Joe Flacco that much of a difference maker to be able? He's a veteran. He's got a ring, guys. He's got to bring something, right? Don't you think?
Yeah, a body.
Oh, God.
You also got to remember, right? Like, Joe Flacco took the Cleveland Browns, 3 years ago? He took them to the playoffs. He got the Colts close a couple of years ago. Like, he's okay, but, like, if I'm a Bengals fan right now, I'm not excited about this. Like Joe Burrow goes down, and you just want someone to like maybe keep you around 500. If Joe Burrow gets back in December, maybe he has an awesome December, and you make it to the playoffs. But this team just isn't good. Like everything around, like you got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Everything outside of that is bad, just bad.
Yeah, you can't run the ball. You got no offensive line. Why don't you trade for offensive linemen instead of trading for quarterbacks? How about that?
I don't know. And
Cincinnati's trying to be Cleveland. That's what I think they're trying to do.
Well, you also got to remember, like if you're the Bengals and you just traded for an offensive lineman, your fan base is going to lose their damn mind. Like, well, why aren't you going out there and getting a quarterback? So for me, like they're in a lose-lose situation. The second you lost Joe Burrow, your season was done.
Well, guys, we're live. For everybody coming on, we are actually live tonight. So feel free not to just watch, but to chime in. I know the last couple of weeks I've given you guys a pre-recording and people have probably gotten used to that, but we're live tonight. We are live. We are live. So please come on and say something. You know, we will honor your comments and address them. And that
we are live on this beautiful Monday night.
Beautiful Monday night? Are you okay, Tim? Wait,
you don't know what day it is. He's been working so much.
He got me sitting here thinking, like, wait, are we doing the show on the wrong night? I'm seriously sitting here. You guys Tip, you're hilarious. Hello, Natola. Hi, Coach. Ref. Hi, Ref. How are you, Natola Hawthorne? It's been a long, long time. What's up, Cricket Commish? Thank you, everybody, for saying hi. Make sure you guys share this live. Natola, I will text you. We got to link up. She, of course, is she's Georgia's first African-American female referee here in Georgia. I had her on my show last year. So Natola, thanks so much for supporting. It's been a long time. Good to have you in the comments tonight. All right. So we touched a little bit on it. Let's talk about this. Joe Flacco, of course, is named the starting quarterback. This is a significant move because the Bengals have gotten him for their upcoming. This is week 6, guys. This season is moving along really, really quickly. And so they got a big game coming up against Green Bay. They're hoping that Joe Flacco can take some of the edge off. I'll say that. That crowded quarterback room that was the Browns quarterback room where Joe Flacco is coming from is now moved Shedeur Sanders up to the number 2 coveted spot behind Dylan Gabriel, though. Go figure. And some kind of way, Deshaun Watson is still dangling out there on the roster. So they went from 5, 6, I don't even remember how many they had. They're down now to 3. Do you guys think Shedeur stays? I mean, they had a clip on there from Dion basically saying he don't give a D about the Browns, but he just, cares about the Buffaloes and Shedeur. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah, he's going to stay. It's not like he's got the power to leave or anything like that. Like he's there. He's under contract with them. I kind of I like this move for the Browns, right? Like Joe Flacco going to the Cincinnati, I'm not a huge fan of, but the Browns moving on to Dylan Gabriel, putting Shedeur Sanders as a second string quarterback there. It's great for me, right? Like Dylan Gabriel, I think gives you a little bit of something. Like he's not as bad as I think a lot of people thought he was going to be. And if he does wind up regressing, if he does wind up being bad, now you have the opportunity to see what Shedeur's got, right? So you got 2 rookie quarterbacks here, and if you're the Cleveland Browns, you get to figure out which one of them you want to go with in whatever type of situation. Having Joe Flacco there, having Deshaun Watson there, having all the issues that they've got at quarterback, now you finally got what to me looks like a solidified quarterback room.
You think the same thing, B? I mean.
Yeah, I'm with Tip on that. Yeah, I mean, it's the Cleveland Browns, and they're going to Cleveland Browns. So, I mean, this is a good step for them. This is actually a smart thing they did. Something that's not normal for this organization. But they did, hey, you got 2 draft picks 2 guys that you got in the draft this year. You might as well see what's going on with him and see where your future lays. Because it's not what Watson can be out there dangling around all he wants to, but he ain't the guy he used to be. That's for sure. So let's see what the future of the franchise is. It's either going to be Shedeur, it's going to be Gabriel. So,
well, TC915 Tommy says, he already beat Flacco. Already beat the Packers this year. So he's going to be seeing them for the second time. That's pretty relevant. Thanks for pointing that out, Tommy. I didn't even realize that. I totally forgot about that.
I'm also going to put this out there just so people know. Jamar Chase has more tackles this year than Micah Parsons does. Just putting it out.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Just about to talk about that. And
Pass
I knew
breakup too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, y'all. This is the 6th week. We have 18 weeks. So we're a third of the way through the season. Lamar Jackson, y'all. Let's move towards the Ravens. It's questionable now. I mean, there's a lot of talk about whether or not he's gonna be able to come back anytime soon. This is, they use Zay Flowers a lot. King Henry's over there to try to alleviate some of the run game. But Baltimore just, without Lamar, they are literally just starting to fade. Would you guys agree with that?
I mean, even with Lamar, they were fading. Like they don't look like a good team, and everyone thought this was going to be a Super Bowl team. The fact that they're 1-4 and they had 4 out of their 5 games with Lamar Jackson, like it's insane to me that this team is that bad. The one thing that's like their saving grace is that division is bad. You got the Browns, you got the Bengals. Maybe the Steelers can make some noise. So maybe they get hot. Maybe Cooper Rush can do what he did with the Dallas Cowboys and just kind of keep you there. But they look bad on all facets of this team. They got a bad defense. They got a bad offense. Derrick Henry's not running the ball. Like Derrick Henry looks old and he's fumbling. We're not used to seeing any of this. They look like a really bad organization right now, which is really weird to say about the Baltimore Ravens.
The AFC looks like the old NFC South.
Well, yeah, this is the thing that we were talking about earlier about the AFC South being so surprising, considering that there's 2 4-1 teams in that division, plus a team that's starting to rise up with Texans, and their teams, and hell, Titans got 1 win. So, although that was a gimme win, but anyway, they're actually better than the AFC North. The AFC North is supposed to be, they're vaulted as one of the best divisions in the NFL, but not this year. They're not.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something, Lamar, a lot of the losses that were coming from Baltimore too were basically defensive, because you remember they lost to Buffalo because of Buffalo, and they couldn't stop Buffalo's offense when it had to. They were terrible. I mean, they beat Cleveland the next time, who doesn't beat Cleveland, and and they scored a lot of points. With Lamar Jackson being out of that whole mix is devastating to their lineup, because they built around Lamar Jackson. They did not build around Cooper Rush. Okay, so those two different quarterbacks. Yeah, it makes it matters. And you got a guy like Lamar Jackson, who is as good an athlete he is. No, there's nobody that can replace that. There's nobody that can replace that.
And this is the thing, like with Baltimore's defense being as bad as it is, they're going to be down early in games and like late in game situations. And we've seen it in the past. Baltimore with Lamar, even with Lamar Jackson, isn't a team that can come back on you. They're just not built that way. So they've got a lot of trouble. And again, it's weird because we were looking at this team as a Super Bowl contender, right? Like it's them, Buffalo, maybe Kansas City's on the outside of this. They don't look anywhere like they don't even look like they can be a playoff team right now.
Yeah, I'm concerned because they literally have faded. It's any given Sunday, but it also lets you know any given injury. This is what we kind of talked about on our last show with you, me, J Train. Tip, you may have been watching, but I don't think you were on it at that time. But we talked about teams that have their B squad ready to go, and that their B squad is really more like an A- as far as grades, because they're just as good as your starters. But if you got a true B squad that's really more like a C or D squad, you're in trouble. If your front line goes down and all of a sudden you're plagued with injuries and you're banking your season on all these people that have not prepared, what's up, Jonathan? Then you are in big trouble. So this is a situation we're looking at right here with Baltimore. It's a lot. And that segues me into the Russell Wilson talk. His name is now coming up as possible trade again. I don't know, it's kind of been up and down. Some people are saying it's kind of cooled off a little bit. It was kind of hinted that he may go to Cincinnati, but now that they've got Flacco, that's kind of, slow down. But they said the Bengals were not even interested in him. Like, people could talk all they want. He's going to continue to be a Giant, but benched, and his future is now uncertain in the league.
I mean, who
for you to not be in the conversation? Like, someone's like, we'll take Joe Flacco, the corpse of Joe Flacco. We'll take that over you. Like, Russell Wilson is, and the thing to me is, like, I don't think he was playing bad. Like, I know the Giants wanted to put Jackson Dart in there, but it's not like Russell Wilson was the reason they were losing games.
Right.
Like, they're a bad team. So I was surprised. I thought
garbage
would go get him.
Yeah.
What's interesting about this situation? Think about this. Guess what Las Vegas is having a problem with right now? Quarterback play. Yeah. Geno's thrown a whole bunch of interceptions for no reason at all. I don't know what's going on with Geno. His dynamics, his mechanics are just screwed up. But Russell Wilson has history, and they could get him.
Yeah,
so,
Russell.
Nothing happened to Russell Wilson.
What happened is he just does not. He's just becoming a journeyman, Tommy, and he's not the Seahawks Russell Wilson. And I think once we accept that he's not that same Russell, and likely will never be, then we will accept him for where he is. He'll be a solid backup somewhere.
I said it whenever he went to Denver that he was washed. Like even the last couple of years in Seattle, it wasn't the same dude. And it's been a steady decline since then. Like we got to see a little bit of what Russell Wilson was last year, but that didn't translate to anything for Pittsburgh, right? And the same thing, like you got to see a gunslinger Russell Wilson against the Dallas Cowboys. That Dallas Cowboys defense is horrid, right? Like you should be able to put up yards like that against them. It's just it's weird to say this because if Russ had retired 5 years ago, we're talking about him as a certified Hall of Famer. And now we're like, man, it's sad to like look at this and even be like, now is he first ballot? Like how long would it take for him to get to the Hall? Like he's playing his way out of it. It's weird to say that.
Yeah, I mean, I saw I think it was Ryan Clark talked about that a little bit, and he, kind of was speculating, but then some people are like, if Eli's getting in, Russ is going to still get in. I think sometimes we conflict getting in with rings, how many championships that quarterback has, but then it comes down to stats, guys, doesn't it? I mean, doesn't it come down to your stats?
I mean, y'all were laughing at me whenever I said Tony Romo was a Hall of Famer. He got better.
Who's y'all?
Yeah.
Okay, B was on my side. I apologize. Thank you, B.
I wasn't on the show. Oh yes,
there you
I
go.
was.
So they. Were you?
Is this the one you took the clip from, Tip, and put it on your Instagram or something?
I probably did something.
Yeah, when we all laughed. I mean, B laughed so hard it was funny.
This is something that, Tommy, I don't understand why people say this. You can't play your way out of a Hall of Fame. You're already Hall of Fame material as it is. You can add some extra stats to yourself, but and you won't go out a hero. You're not going to be John Elway where you retire right after you won back-to-back Super Bowls. Not every player can do that. But I'm not thinking that he played his way out. And how do you play your way off a Hall of Fame if you were having a Hall of Fame career anyway? And you put up the numbers in the beginning. So, I mean, he needs to either find a place or, two-step with Sierra.
I'm about to say that's not bad. I'm going home to Sierra. Like that's what I'm doing.
Hey, it's not bad.
So I mean, now, like I want to see where
comparing Hall of Famers like that. You can't compare Marino to Russell though.
So I didn't realize this. Russell Wilson higher on the list than I thought. So he's got 46,921 passing yards for his career. That's 15th most all time.
Yeah.
Like okay, I didn't think it was that high, just because I didn't picture those offenses in Seattle being like those high-powered offenses. I always thought of them as like run-first offenses. But seeing he's 15th all time, still in the Hall of Fame, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You all right there, Sonja?
Can you guys see and hear me?
I can hear you, but you're frozen in time. Which
You know what? StreamYard is the worst. I'm gonna have to take my background off, and you guys are just gonna have to see where I'm at because it doesn't let me.
Well, as long as you're not in anything that's illegal, you're fine.
No, I'm not. Really?
If I see lights on a pole, we might have to shut show down.
I'm not.
Also, Russell Wilson, number 12 all time on the touchdown list.
Well, you can hear you. You're kind of going in and out there.
I'm gonna come back. This is horrible. I'll be back.
All right.
So
what guys are ahead of him?
Wilson, number 12 all time on the touchdown list, right? So I mean, that's not bad. And Tommy wanted people ahead of him on the passing yards list. Let me go back over. You got Fran Tarkenton, Warren Moon, John Elway, Eli Manning, Matt Stafford, Dan Marino, Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and Tom Brady. That's some great company to be with.
Yeah, and there's like how many of those are not even in Hall of Fame? Well, Stafford's not because he's still playing.
It's mainly like active guys and people that have just recently retired, right? Like Phillip Rivers, that's like surefire Hall of Famer.
Yeah, exactly.
Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, like those guys. Those are Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
yeah. And then right behind him is Joe Flacco and Carson Palmer. So like that's where to me it's like, man, maybe you put Joe Flacco in, but Carson Palmer, we know he ain't getting in.
What's up, Robbie? Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's 15, and you say he's 12th in all-time touchdowns too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame. And he's won a Super Bowl. He's been in 2 Super Bowls.
Carson Palmer, Vinny Testaverde, Drew Bledsoe, like these are the names that are right behind him, and we don't think of those dudes as Hall of Fame dudes.
Well, Drew Bledsoe could be a Hall of Fame guy. I don't know about I mean, Vinny Testaverde got a lot of his. He was a journeyman too. That was the only thing about Vinny. He went to a lot of teams. I think that's what kills your Hall of Fame if you don't stay with somebody too long. You know what I'm saying? If you stay with a team for a long enough period of time, that's fine. But Vinny was like, even in his prime, he was going to different teams. So, yeah.
I think that's what we're going to get out of Russell Wilson here at the end, right? Like, if he does get traded, that's going to be his 5th team in 4 years. Like that's wild to think of that.
Yeah, if I was him, I would just retire. Get my AARP card and get the heck on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go home to Sierra. It's not a bad place to be.
No, she still makes money. So hey,
got that.
Be
one
like Kelsey. Be like Kelsey. Call it a career so you can go home to the wifey.
Yeah, but
making all the money.
Wrote a song about Russell Wilson's wood.
All right, guys. Can you see me and hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know.
Brick
I literally I had to go. I'm literally gonna find out there's another streaming service other than StreamYard. They have done this way too many times to me. All right, so I'm glad you guys got all the Russell Wilson chat out. Let's talk about some score recaps here from last week, and then we'll delve into what we can expect with tomorrow night's matchup. So, of course, our Sunday was full of games, but because we've already talked about the Thursday night game. Well, B and J Train, you guys did the 49ers absolutely skated by the Rams 26-23. I'm talking like, wow, okay. But Brock Purdy now is the center of the news today, battling some sort of injury here. So he's questionable for week 6. We'll talk about all the injuries here shortly, but let's recap. Vikings getting it done barely over the Browns. You got to remember, a lot of these teams are battling injuries. So the Vikings are injured and the Browns are just an injured quarterback room anyway, because they're the Browns. New Orleans, congratulations to the Saints getting their first win in record fashion down in the Big Easy against the New York Tinies. Looks like benching Russell Wilson was not the solution to your problem. You may need to bring him back in because, after all, Jackson Dart is a rookie. And if you're banking your season on a rookie, you are going to go bankrupt. The Indianapolis Colts literally probably scored all the points they'll score this entire season against the Las Vegas Raiders. 40-6. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw B. I saw you grab your ears, so I didn't know if you're trying to.
No, I was just adjusting.
Oh, I thought you were giving me a sign like.
No. You're good. You're good. You're good.
And in a congratulatory, amazing performance, if I must say so myself, the Carolina Panthers, who are 2-0 at home and have the same record as the Kansas City Chiefs right now, who would have thought it, beat the Miami Dolphins. They came back from a 17-point deficit in the second half, and in fact, into the third, fourth quarter, and came back and won 27 against Tua Tagovailoa of the Miami Dolphins. Carolina getting it done right there against them. And Tip, congratulations to your Dallas Cowboys, who lassoed up those Jets 37-22. The Jets tried to come back and fight a little bit at the end, but that lasso was too tight, and they had already called it home on the range for the Cowboys. The Denver Broncos gave the Eagles their first L. Jalen Hurts and company got the hurt put on them by Sean Payton's Broncos. They stampeded all over them 21-17. Another big score that we touched on a little bit earlier. This is definitely injury related. The Baltimore Ravens got plucked and shucked by the Houston Texans 44-10. I don't know if the Ravens have gotten routed that bad in a long time. I mean, I guess it's not really a rout.
That was a record in M&T Stadium. That was one of their worst losses in history.
Absolutely. So. Pink Fanfare, we shouted you out earlier. What's up, sis? Always the realest real creator. And she's absolutely right. She's saying that week 6 is loading. You see Tip on here, Pink. Panthers will be lassoing the Cowgirls. It's high time. We've been beat by them the last couple of seasons. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. The Tennessee Titans, nail biter there. 1 point getting their first win against the Arizona Cardinals, 22-21. And another Sunday of a lot of close games. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I honestly turned this game off. I thought the Seahawks had won. I thought they won, but according to the information, they lost by 3 points. Baker Mayfield and company again. I think they're undefeated. Boo.
No, they got one loss.
I couldn't even keep up. Washington Commanders bounce back. Jaden Daniels coming back into action. 20. So Marcus Mariota held it down while Jaden was out. But welcome back, Jaden. Glad to know you're feeling better. 27-10 over the Chargers. You know, that's pretty good because the Chargers have been playing pretty good ball. And of course, B's Lions just roared and clawed these Bengals and ate them up because cats eat birds. 37-24. And the New England Patriots, my new favorite team that I love to hate so much. I literally can't stand the Patriots as of now. From last week, how they tried to run up the scoreboard on my Panthers. Garbage team. They're going nowhere. They beat the Bills. This is another You know, I feel better though, I guess, because they beat Josh Allen and the Bills, because the Bills are, no joke. 23-20. And then in the Monday night game, we saw the Kansas City Chiefs, y'all, fall to the freaking Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence and them, Mr. Targaryen himself from Game of Thrones, literally made Patrick Mahomes his you-know-what. 31-28. And the Chiefs are now 2-3. Unbelievable.
If y'all
they got injuries.
I've been telling you all year to look out for them Jacksonville Jaguars. I've been saying it. They got a good offense. They got a good defense. They're going to make some noise. They're going to beat teams that you don't expect them to beat. They're more than likely going to win the AFC South because we see the Texans are bad. The Titans are bad. I don't think anyone's going to believe in Daniel Jones all year long with the Indianapolis Colts. Like, we know that's going to come back down to earth. And think about this. With as bad as Jacksonville played, they still beat the Kansas City Chiefs. That shows you, like, if Jacksonville could actually put it together, they'll be an okay team. They're going to be a scary team. I've been telling you.
Two things. Is that a testament to the reason how bad Kansas City is? And they have injuries too, by the way. And
Everybody's
is
got
that just, I know we can use that line too. But I'm just saying, is that a testament to how bad Kansas City is, though, or just how good Jacksonville? I don't believe in Jacksonville. I'm sorry, I just
don't
don't.
either.
I think they're going to take a loss to Seattle. I think Seattle's too tough of a team for them, and I don't see them beating them this weekend. I don't believe in them. I barely believe in Indianapolis right now because Indianapolis hasn't played anybody.
That's
what I'm saying?
Way to talk about your second favorite team.
Yeah, what's your second favorite team?
I mean, you guys, they are. This is the thing that
they're a cat team. They're a cat team. I'll give you that.
But that's it. But let's be clear. I don't know. Are lions still felines? They're not. They're a different type of cat. They're not cats.
They're felines.
They are. I know Bengals and Jaguars and Panthers are all in one class of felines, but I thought lions are a little different, because they're superior or whatever. I don't know.
Well, that's true. But
I thought they were they call them feral or something. Feral.
Oh, well, that's just a.
I probably got it.
I'll give you.
Yeah, look him up for me. While he's looking that up, guys, I will say this tip. I feel like a lot of these teams have this really good game and people get hyped up like, oh my God, look at them. Like they are not to be messed with. And then they show us who they really are the next week. Indianapolis will not continue to be this. We're putting up 40 points on the board against everybody. Neither will Mr. Duval and company continue to do what they're doing. Even though I was over here hollering Duval because I can't stand the Chiefs. Even though they beat the Panthers down the first week, I was over here like, Duval. I was literally like, Duval, like y'all did that. But it's because everybody's sick of the Chiefs. Everybody was probably cheering for Jacksonville, but they'll be back to normal next week.
I mean, they beat the 49ers. Liam Cohen goes straight up to Rob Saleh and was like, get my name out your motherfucking mouth. Like he just but like there's something there. Like all like again, I don't think of them as like a Super Bowl contending team, but they're gonna be a team that plays spoiler to a lot of people here. And I wouldn't be surprised they make it, they win that division. That's not a hard division to win. They get into the playoffs against somebody. That's going to be a team I don't think a lot of people want to mess with.
Did you find out the other name, B, for Lions?
Yeah, they're Panthera.
Panthera. That should be like Panthers. Wow.
Yeah, they're only found in sub-Saharan Africa and India. So that's a true lion.
Okay, that's a true lion. All right. Speaking of true, we are starting week 6 on tomorrow. The Eagles versus the Giants NFC East matchup at 8:15 p.m. It's going to be on Prime Video. Is this a game? Now, the Eagles are coming off of a loss, but this is a divisional game, and we do see teams kind of step up. Both of them are actually losers, let's be clear. But the Eagles took their first L. But are we thinking the Giants are going to give any type of competition? This game is in New York. Well, New Jersey. Yeah.
New Jersey. Yeah. Call it what it is. It's New Jersey.
New Jersey.
The New Jersey Giants and the New Jersey Jets.
Absolutely.
It's only one real team in New York, and it's the Buffalo Bills. So there you go.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Just the
the Giants are gonna, play hard. They still think they can play good enough to beat some teams. And I still believe that the dart experiment is going to continue to work pretty well in their favor. Didn't work well against the it didn't work well against the Panthers, or not Panthers, the Saints, because they the problem with the Giants is something that we all looked forward to seeing this year. Is their defense. Their defense is just, I don't know what's going on, man. They got too much talent on there to be that bad. They really do. I mean, they're not bad as Dallas' defense. No offense, Mike, but they're bad. They're bad. And I mean, and the only thing that's going to make this game close is the fact that Philadelphia is having problems within themselves. You got AJ complaining about not getting the football. You got Devontae Smith now complaining about not getting the football. The team has been saying, hey, we're going to look for trade offers for AJ Brown. Jalen Hurts, give the ball to Saquon 6 times in a game. You give the ball 6 times to Saquon in a game, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just bad. Coaching is Sirianni with his punchable face. But anyway,
a couple years ago, whenever Philadelphia went like 10-0, right? I kept saying to people, that's a fraudulent 10-0. I look at them right now and they're 4-1, and it feels again like a fraudulent 4-1, right? Like they haven't gone out and dominated anybody. They've skated by, they've gotten these close victories and things like that, and they're going to get caught just like they did this past weekend, right? Like it's going to happen. They should have lost to the Rams. They should have lost to the Bucks. Like they've done things to lose games here. I don't think that the Giants can win this game, but I'm also not expecting Philadelphia to come out here and dominate, right? This is a bad team. The only thing to me that's their saving grace that might shut people up for the week would be the Giants have a terrible pass defense. So just throw the ball against this team all day long, make Devontae Smith happy, make AJ Brown happy for at least the week, and go out there and do your thing. But the Eagles, to me, I know they're 4-1, and it's weird to be like, this is a team that you shouldn't take at face value right now. But there's a lot of flaws on this team. Like there's a real case to be made that they could be 0-5. Like just as easy as they could be 5-0, they could be 0-5. Like the record is 4-1, but they haven't been impressive at all.
When you only have 23 yards of offense in one half of football, and it happens to be the second half, and you still win.
Well, and coming off the heels of one game where you didn't even complete a pass in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember that Tampa game? They didn't complete a pass in the second half.
Mm-hmm. That's the game actually I'm talking about. They had like 23 yards offense of the whole half, and they still managed to win that by some grace of God. But it's like their second halves are just totally non-existent. They're having a trouble, and I don't know how they're winning it, to tell you the truth. I think their defense gets lucky. They had a block kick against the Rams.
A lot of special
the Rams should have won that. Stafford did what he had to do, and that whole game had nothing to do with Stafford playing well, because Stafford was balling in that game. And he got him in position twice to take the lead and keep the lead, and the kicker couldn't get done.
And go back to that Tampa Bay game too. Tampa was moving the ball on them all game long, and it was just that tipped pass that winds up getting intercepted at the end of the game that wins it for them. Otherwise, we're talking about this team at 2-3.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Panthers, 2-3.
Carolina Panthers right now a half game behind the Dallas Cowboys, who are 2-1.
Yeah, that little tie, and we're also
Packers.
tied. Let's get into that. All right, so of course you got that game. You think that the Giants are going to do anything tomorrow? Probably not.
I mean, they're at home. I hope they do something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Philadelphia is kind of in disarray right now. Like I said, the offense is just it's puddling through games.
It's offensive.
The offense is offensive. You got it right. And
I want to put this scenario out there to you guys. I want to see if you're receptive to it. You like it, take it. You don't, throw it right back. Right? The Giants are down in the second half. It's the beginning of the fourth quarter. You're down 21-7. Jackson Dart ain't doing nothing. And then off the bench comes Jameis Winston. And he wins this game for you, baby, because he eats W's all day long. Like I've got this going on right now. Jameis Winston is going to be the savior of the New York Giants.
Whoa.
I forgot he was even up there. I forgot he was even up there. He may be, he had that LASIK surgery because he said he wanted to make sure he stopped, the interceptions. So he wanted to be able to see better, or some type of eye surgery he had. And
because he didn't want to be another part of another documentary by ESPN 30 and 30,
Poor Jameis. I actually take that, Tip. I actually take that. I could see that. I really could. Cool. That's super credible.
I don't. I know they put Jackson Dart in there because Dabo's trying to save his job. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think Dabo is not. I mean, they're going to have to get rid of the GM too because they're like, they're a marriage. So you got the GM and then you got Dabo. But if they get rid of either one of them, both of them are going. So I don't see them winning too many games. Not with that defense. I mean, the defense was what they were. I thought they were going to win some of their games from.
Even if the defense was playing halfway good, they'd still be at the top, like a 5-win team.
Yeah,
they're just not a good team.
They're not at all.
Without Jameis Winston. With Jameis Winston as your starting quarterback, 17-0.
What? Okay, that's a stretch. I'm not going that far. Tip, I don't know what you've taken in before you got on the show tonight, but
I was eating W's.
It's catching. All right, we got the Broncos and Jets kicking off another morning, an international game at 9:30 a.m. Sunday morning. Broncos and Jets. I think the Broncos are going to absolutely gallop all over these Jets unless them getting this international breath of fresh air could make a difference. You guys agree?
Maybe the 2-hour time difference from Mountain Time to Eastern Time, like it's a longer flight for the Broncos. Maybe there's some jet lag, but we saw the way.
No pun intended. Jet lag. You get it? Jet lag. I like that, Tip.
But like it's there's no way. Like I think Denver's a really good team.
Tommy's hilarious. All right. You agree, B, right? You think Denver's gonna this is not a non-factor, right?
I think I like AG. Obviously, because AG was part of the Lions coaching staff last year, I think he would make a very good coach. I think right now the problem with the Jets is the culture hasn't fully taken over. He's had to get rid of 2 kickers because they can't hold on to the ball, and that's something that he comes from that tree, Dan Campbell. They don't take that kind of stuff. You don't want to hold on to the ball, then you don't want to be on this team. And then on top of that, the Jets the difference between the Lions and the Jets organization, they're in the same position, that AG was when DC got there. I just think that the Lions organization was much more put together than the Jets are right now. And I fear for his job because that's the Jets thing to do. You're not going to get the stuff done like how we want to get done. We want to get it changed around a year. So we're going to get rid of you because you're not doing what we hired you to do. And that's not fair to AG because that team is booty cheeks. Okay.
Yeah,
right now.
When he got there. But that's what the Jets do. They hurry, like a jet. They jet and make bad decisions. So they're going to get marched on. Another game that we're going to kick off our 1:00 games. You guys can tell me which one you're most interested in probably viewing other than your own games. B, I know this doesn't apply to you, but Seattle versus Jacksonville. You guys have talked about that. That's probably going to be a good, decent matchup there. Sam Darnold versus Trevor Lawrence. That's going to be a great match. Sam Darnold's been playing very well with the Seahawks. That's at 1:00. Chargers and Fins. Fins look really good. I mean, they've played comparable football, especially in that Carolina game. Tua literally came to light. I know you guys are tipping your hats and tilting your heads or whatever on that, but Tua looked better than he had in quite a while. And then our defense took over. That game's at 1:00 versus the Chargers, but I think the Chargers are going to eat them up. Rams and Ravens without Lamar Jackson, it's not going to be the same type of matchup whatsoever. And then you got the Cardinals and Colts. Of course, Cardinals and Colts game. And then you got the Cowboys and Panthers, which we'll put a pin in that because Tip and I can expound on that. And Patriots and Saints. And then you got the Browns versus the Steelers. And that's the end of our 1:00 games. Any interest in any of those games?
That 1:00 slate just sounds bad, right? Like if there was a week to miss football, it's this week. Like, thank God I'm a Cowboys fan and it's going to be on TV and I'm going to be watching that game like I care. But I'm not going to have Red Zone on. I'm not going to like it's there's nothing there to like watch. The one thing that I would say though, out of like the teams that we were talking about right here, look for that Chargers game. It could be sneaky, right? Because we look at the last 2 losses the Chargers have. It was against teams that they were supposed to have beaten, right? Like there's something about this Chargers team where I just don't believe in them the way that I think a lot of other people are believing in them. They played down to their opponents, and whenever they played down to those teams, they're not doing good, right? And like Miami's one of those teams that if you take for granted, maybe they can do something. The only saving grace for the Chargers here is that Miami's bad, like objectively bad. There's nothing on the Miami Dolphins that you could say is good. Like if Tyreek Hill was there, you'd kind of be like, well, maybe, but they're a bad defense, a bad run game, a bad pass game. That's just not a good team. But the Chargers will find a way to lose a game, and it'll be against a team like the Dolphins.
Well, to be fair with the Chargers, again, injuries on your offensive line do matter. They have 3 starters, 2 tackles, and a guard that are missing off of that line that are bona fide good offensive linemen, and that's given Herbert fits, and they can't run the ball. And now they don't have Amarian. He's not going to be on there, and they don't have what's the dude Harris. They don't have Harris either. So now they're calling guys that haven't played in 2 years Naheem Rhines they signed. So that tells you they're desperate for running backs, and he can't just sit back there and throw passes because the offensive line is garbage right now. They can't stop anybody, and this is the case against Washington. And Washington doesn't even have that good of a defense. They have a basic defense. That's about it. And they were killing, and they were killing their line. It's just bad all the way around for the Chargers. I feel bad for them, but hey, injuries are part of the game. You either got suck it up, next man up, and go for it. But
that's what the Dallas Cowboys were missing 4 of their offensive linemen. Like, and they didn't have CeeDee Lamb, right? Like they didn't have Kevontae Turpin either. Like,
suck it up.
You got to play the game that's right in front of you.
Yeah.
Thank
and
you,
Miami,
thank you.
I'm sorry, Sonja. And Miami has a good offense. That's something that's been steady with them. Sometimes it fades out, granted, but they do have a pretty good running game. They have a pretty good passing game, even with Tyreek not there. But their defense, you can throw all day on them. They have like cornerbacks you don't even know about. They had to go. I think the 3 of their starters they signed this year. They signed this year. And I'm not talking about during the offseason. I'm talking about during a regular season they signed them because their defensive backs were either getting hurt or just weren't good. So they had to replace them with guys that been in the league for 200 years. So there you go.
To show you how bad it's been for the Miami Dolphins, like especially in the cornerback room and stuff like that, they called me to try out. That's why I've been so busy because I was trying out with the Miami Dolphins. I didn't make the team, but they called me.
I feel offended because they didn't call me. It wasn't even on their radar.
So, before we move,
the first Latino cornerback of all time.
You could do that.
Before
we move on to the 4 o'clock games, because this time is getting away from us. We got to talk about our game tip. We got to talk about our game. Cowboys versus Panthers again. It seems like y'all are here every year. I think it's every other year, but it feels like it's every year y'all are there. And you're going to be in Charlotte again this year. The prediction is, is kind of split. A lot of people are talking about the point spreads, things like that. What it's going to look like. A lot of the pundits have the Cowboys winning, but not by much. Going to be like a score or less, score 3 points, a safety, what have you. But we love to be bet against. The DNP list came out today. It's kind of early because it's still early in the week before
Wednesday.
the game. Yeah. But there's a lot of starters, on our team that did not play, Chuba Hubbard being one of them. But I'm more interested in what the list looks like on Friday. As far as the DNP as opposed to a Wednesday. So we won't get into that. But Tip, you are a true Cowboys fan. Shout out to happynuts.com. Thank you so much, Mommy. You are a true Cowboys fan. So I will, show the stage to you first. I will give you the platform first to talk about that game. Do you truly think, let's rephrase. Do you think the Panthers will be of some competition to the Cowboys in this game?
I do. I think every team is going to be able to pass on the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys pass defense is bad, right? Like the Jets game is an apparition. We don't need to look at the Jets game as like this is what the Dallas Cowboys are going to be all year long. What I would say though is the Dallas Cowboys pass rush seems to be getting a little bit better. So if they don't give Bryce Young time, then there's going to be the issue right there. But if Bryce Young has time, anybody can carve up the Dallas Cowboys defense. The thing that I would question out there is the Dallas Cowboys have the number 1 offense as far as yards per games go right now, and I want to say the number 3 scoring offense in the NFL. It would be up to the Carolina Panthers to not let the Dallas Cowboys turn this into a shootout, right? Like you want a low-scoring game against the Dallas Cowboys if you're the Carolina Panthers. I just don't know if Carolina's defense is up to that task right now because we've seen the Dallas Cowboys take some good defenses to the woodshed, right? Like this is a team that's going to get theirs. I kind of agree with Vegas though. Like I don't see this game being an absolute blowout. If Dallas wins, maybe it's a 1-score game, but I can also see a scenario here where Carolina gets hot because of how bad Dallas's defense is, and they stay in the game this way. So like, I want to say Dallas is going to win, but that's because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. It's not hating on the Carolina Panthers. Like anytime you're at home, that's a good place to be. Although
we've lost the last few times to you guys at home. But let's talk about this tip though. Rico Dowdle, former, you guys, he's getting a reunion, and Dowdle has been lights out for our team. I mean, he has been a difference maker. That dude broke records last week. He is a key player for them, and he's one of the key players that is the reason why we came back against Miami. You also got to look at the pass rush against Dak Prescott. You got to think about how many times he's been sacked infrequently, but because of our defense getting better, everybody's trash talked the Carolina defense so bad that they've stepped the you-know-what up. And so they are coming in. They want to make sure the defense is front and center, and they're going to be trying to get after Dak. And so if you think about that pass rush and how it looked against the Dolphins, you gotta look at those things, and then you got to think about George Pickens himself against our secondary. If CeeDee Lamb is injured, which he is, Pickens is now you guys' top target for Prescott, and it's going to be the primary focus for our defense. Like we're freaking coming.
I mean, that was the primary focus for the Jets defense, and they did absolutely nothing against it. What people don't realize is that the Dallas Cowboys don't rely on George Pickens, and even in the games that CeeDee Lamb was healthy in, they established the tight end. Like look at how many catches Jake Ferguson has on this season, right? Like he is the Dallas Cowboys' number 1 option right now as far as like receiving goes. The thing with the Dallas Cowboys is that they have a completely balanced offense. Like they can run the ball, they can pass the ball, and that's what makes them very hard to defend against, right? Because once you start having to sag back to protect the deep passes and stuff like that, that's where Javonte Williams is starting to do his thing. And I'm gonna genuflect right now. I'm gonna say I'm sorry, my bad. I didn't think that it was a good signing for the Dallas Cowboys to get Javonte Williams. I thought the Dallas Cowboys should have kept Rico Dowdle. He had 1,000 yards for them last year. I didn't understand why they let him go. But I will say to pump the brakes on that a little bit, he had 200 yards last game and has 280 yards for the whole season. So he had 80 yards in 4 games. It's not like he was beating down the door the 4 games.
He's just warming up though, sir. He's just warming up. And you guys have beat us 3. You guys beat us the last 3 meetings that we've had with you all. It's
averaging
enough.
30 points a game.
It's enough. If I'm going to be in the area, if I have to suit up and go out there on that field, I will do it. I will do it. I will do it. I will do it. I have to drive right through there, and I'd be doggone if we're going to take an L on Sunday, if for no other reason, because I'll be in the vicinity. But good luck to you.
I do know this from my time living in North Carolina. I do remember this. That's basically a second home game for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, they think they're coming in like that. They may as well. I don't know. You guys do that with everywhere. You want to come in and take over. Your fans are obnoxious. We're used to it, but it ain't no second freaking home game. The only reason why, let's be clear. I will be honest. It is kind of a second home game for you guys because the Panthers are still, under 40 years old. The Cowboys are 70 years old, and you guys have infiltrated so many states that don't have teams. and the Carolinas was one of those states. So, when you're 100 years old as a team, everywhere is probably your second home. It's the right thing to do for your grandfather.
No, whenever you're America's team, every home is your second home.
Self-proclaimed. It's you guys with that star is your rating. It's not really anything patriotic about it whatsoever. It's your 1-star rating, okay?
Or
Make the better team win. Let's go ahead and squeeze. The Falcons are playing the Bills on Monday night because I just went ahead and skipped over that. But before we get there, B's Lions are taking on these Chiefs Sunday night at 8:20. This game is in Kansas City. I like to say Kansas. It's in Kansas City against the Chefs and the Refs. You guys have met them before. And what are your thoughts on this game? And 8:20 Sunday night, everybody's tucked in for supper and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's a way to see a movie and a movie, have dinner and a movie right there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it's going to be about. And we beat Kansas City in Kansas City before. So, Goff isn't the whole team, but he's 2-0 against Patrick Mahomes. He's one of the few quarterbacks that are that against Patrick Mahomes. He beat him in college too, but that's team wise. I'd like to say that because it's Patrick Mahomes, but his team, it's on Goff's teams when he is on there. He had pretty good teams when he was on these in college and in the NFL. So, being said, I think that Kansas City is going to come out with some rigor. I really do. I think they're pissed off because they lost to Jacksonville the way they lost to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I think Chris Jones, he's going to try to have a game to make up for that lackluster performance he had in the fourth quarter. He had to scrub his own social media because people were dogging him. They were like, "Dude, what's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
So they're going to try to get the ship right. Unfortunately for the Lions, they don't have to worry about Rashid Rice because he'll be coming back next week, not this week. And but they do have to worry about Xavier Worthy. Taquan, he's out there. That rookie he's looking pretty dynamic. And of course, I dropped the ball, Hollywood Brown. I'm not really worried about him too much. He's probably the least receiver I have to worry about. And of course, Kelsey has his moments. He's part of the one that he's part of the person that drives that offense. And you can never ever forget about Patrick Mahomes. Now, he's back there. He's the guy. And if they can contain him like they did Lamar. I think they're going to come out there with a W. I just think the Lions are just a little bit better than Kansas City right now, where Kansas City's at. You do this game 2 more weeks from now, then I might have a different opinion. But right now, I think Detroit's the better team, and it should come away with a W. It's not going to be – they're not going to be crushing them like they did Cincinnati and Baltimore. Oh, hell no, that's not going to happen. It's probably a 3-point game. It's going to come down to a field goal, something like that.
I do. As we got like 1 minute to go, Tip, I know you probably had something to say. You have something to squeeze in literally really quick so I can make sure.
I mean, if the Chiefs can get their defense right, they'll be okay. I still think even with like the Chiefs having a good defense, the Chiefs having a good offensive game, like B said, I think the Lions are just a little bit better than them right now.
Yeah, I think so too. I like how Monday night is shaping up. They make sure they don't put just a garbage game on there. They give you 2 games so you can choose which one you really want to watch.
Which
Bills
garbage
and
you want to see?
Yeah, Bills and Falcons, Bears and Commanders. I'll probably make sure that the Falcons are losing and then switch on over to the Bears Commanders game. 7:15 and 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. They're an hour apart. And go Commanders. That was my first original team before the Panthers came on board. Lots of good games coming up this week, but a little bit of a meh. 2 things I want to talk about. I'm just going to kind of close it out here. One, Kyron Lacey was vindicated. For all of you all that don't know, the LSU standout was totally vindicated. It was found he was about 70-some seconds behind the car that actually caused that accident. So unfortunately, that young man unalived himself, and he was totally innocent. So we definitely are continuing to pray for his family. And I want to dedicate tonight's show Last week was extremely rough for me, and so is this week. To my mentor, my friend, Judge Ronald Bernard Ramsey Sr. of the DeKalb County State Court. He was a former judge I worked for, and the sole reason why I'm in law school now. Took a vested interest in my future, invested in me financially and peer wise, and literally a father figure. We memorialized him on Friday. My prayers are with the rest of the DeKalb County family, and of course, Mrs. Ramsey, Kristen, and Jay, and Mariah. And also to, and Judge Ramsey always supported the show. And I also wanted to take this time for my friend Tanya Drummond, Tanya Steele Drummond, and her family, Justin Journey, husband and friends that I lost as well this past week. So she always made sure that the show was shared amongst her people as well. So just wanted to make sure that I expressed those condolences and dedicated tonight's show to them. Thank you, everybody, for the likes, love, share. Thank you, B and Tip, for coming on and joining me on such short notice. Of course, they'll be joining you guys on Friday with the fellas. I'll be traveling, but I will definitely try to jump on. But make sure you join us there. And thank you, Cricket. And make sure you guys support all the shows we have here on the network and just everything we have going. So thank you so very much. And Shego Thurps, you are blocked, sir. All right, with that, we bid you guys all good night.